Hey guys, tonight we're taking a journey not through ancient lands or mythical beasts, but through something far more fundamental, something that has shaped every single aspect of your daily life, your history, and even your very biology: artificial light. You're going to travel from the profound, inky blackness of a world without human-made illumination to the dazzling, overwhelming glow of our modern cities. We'll explore how humanity first dared to push back against the night, how that tiny spark grew into a flood of brilliance, and how it utterly transformed our sleep, our work, and our very perception of time. Without it, well, you probably wouldn't be able to stay up this late watching videos like this one, let alone build the complex civilizations we have today. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, if you're listening, drop your location and local time in the comments. It's always wild to see where everyone is tuning in from. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're floating in a world steeped in profound, absolute darkness. This is the Earth's primal darkness, the reality before fire, before any human hand dared to challenge the night. Imagine, if you can, a world where the only light after sunset came from the moon, the stars, or the rare fleeting flash of lightning. You feel the overwhelming weight of this ancient night, a blanket that falls thick and complete, rendering the landscape invisible. Your senses are heightened: the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a predator, the damp scent of unseen vegetation. Without light, early humans were incredibly vulnerable, confined to the relative safety of their shelters from dusk till dawn. The rhythms of life were dictated entirely by the sun. Wake with the sunrise, sleep with its setting. There was no staying up late in this world. One mainstream historical fact here is that for hundreds of thousands of years, early hominids were purely diurnal, meaning they were active only during daylight hours, much like many other primates today. Night was a time of extreme danger and forced inactivity. It's why you still get that primal urge to pull the covers over your head when you hear a bump in the night. A quirky tidbit? Some theories suggest that early humans' excellent color vision, inherited from our primate ancestors, was a huge advantage for foraging in daylight, but became largely useless in this absolute darkness. Imagine having a superpower that just switched off for half the day. Historians still argue whether the dominance of absolute darkness in early human history led to a stronger evolutionary pressure for heightened hearing and smell during nighttime hours, or if it simply reinforced the need for communal sleeping groups for safety. Was it about sharpening senses or huddling closer? For you, now, the sensation is one of profound vulnerability and utter dependence on the sun. This primal darkness shaped every aspect of early human existence, dictating behavior, influencing survival strategies, and firmly establishing the ancient natural rhythm of activity and rest. It was the canvas upon which the story of artificial light would eventually be painted, a story that would forever alter humanity's relationship with the night. The stage for innovation was set, shrouded in impenetrable black. You felt the profound, encompassing blanket of Earth's primal darkness, a stark reminder of humanity's original vulnerability. But now, amidst that inky blackness, you perceive a subtle shift, a faint warmth, a wisp of smoke. This is the first flicker, the accidental flame, and you witness humanity's monumental, often accidental, discovery and harnessing of fire. It's like being present at the birth of a new sun, small and fragile, but utterly transformative for a species confined by night. Imagine yourself as an early hominid, perhaps taking shelter in a cave during a fierce thunderstorm. A lightning bolt strikes a nearby tree, and miraculously, the wood catches fire. Or perhaps, in the painstaking process of chipping stone tools, a spark ignites dry tinder. There's a moment of fear, then curiosity, then awe. You feel the radiating warmth, the flickering light pushing back the oppressive shadows. You see how easily a dropped ember might start a small blaze, how the initial fear slowly gives way to fascination as the practical benefits become apparent. This wasn't an invention in the modern sense, but a discovery, a gradual understanding of how to control and utilize this incredible living energy. It's like stumbling upon a magical, glowing pet that could keep the monsters away. One mainstream historical fact about the harnessing of fire is that archaeological evidence suggests controlled use of fire dates back at least 1.5 million years, with some controversial sites pushing it back even further. This was a slow, gradual mastery, not a single eureka moment. A quirky tidbit? Some theories propose that early humans might have initially learned about fire not from lightning, but from observing natural wildfires and then painstakingly carrying embers from existing fires to new locations, guarding them fiercely before learning how to reliably ignite their own. Imagine the dedication of having to carry a glowing stick for miles, making sure it didn't go out. Historians still argue whether the mastery of fire was primarily a driver of increased safety from predators, or if its more significant impact was on diet, allowing for cooked food and thus greater nutrient absorption and brain development. Did it keep us safe or make us smart? For you, now, the sensation is one of profound liberation. That first flicker wasn't just light, it was warmth, protection, and the promise of a future where humans were no longer entirely at the mercy of the setting sun. This accidental flame marked the very first step in humanity's long, complex journey to illuminate the night, a journey that would forever alter the course of our evolution and our relationship with darkness. The stage was now lit, if only just barely. You've just witnessed the monumental, accidental discovery of fire, that first fragile flicker against the vast darkness. Now, as that flame is brought into human control, you feel its profound impact on early human life. The campfire's embrace, safety, and community. You sense the warmth, the light, and the deep psychological comfort that early communal fires provided, utterly transforming the human experience after sundown. It's like discovering the world's first living, breathing security blanket, offering protection and fostering connection. Imagine yourself huddled with your small group around a crackling fire. Outside the flickering circle of light, the ancient world remains shrouded in menacing darkness, filled with unseen predators. But within the fire's embrace, you are safe. You see the glowing eyes of potential threats kept at bay, intimidated by the dancing flames. You feel the warmth radiating outwards, warding off the chill of the night. This warmth also allowed for habitation in colder climates, expanding humanity's range. More than just physical protection, the fire becomes the heart of the community. You hear stories being told, tools being crafted, and food being cooked and shared long after the sun has set. It's a profound shift from a purely diurnal existence, enabling social bonding and knowledge transfer that wouldn't have been possible in absolute darkness. One mainstream historical fact about communal fire is its crucial role in human social evolution. Fire provided a central gathering point, fostering greater cooperation, facilitating the development of language through extended communication hours and allowing for the cooking of food, which significantly improved nutrient absorption and likely contributed to brain development. It's why you still instinctively feel drawn to a fireplace or a bonfire. It's a deeply ingrained primal comfort. A quirky tidbit? Some anthropologists suggest that the psychological comfort and safety provided by the communal fire might have even contributed to the evolution of human monophasic sleep, one long sleep period, by reducing the need for constant vigilance, unlike prey animals that still sleep in short, fragmented bursts. We basically got to snooze more because fire was our night guard. Historians still argue whether the primary driver for early human groups to maintain continuous fires was for protection from predators, or if it was more fundamentally for warmth and the ability to cook food. Was it about not being eaten, or just enjoying a warm meal and a cozy night? For you, the sensation is one of profound security and burgeoning community. The campfire's embrace was more than just a source of light. It was a sanctuary, a school, and a social hub. This controlled flame fundamentally redefined humanity's relationship with the night, paving the way for extended activity and a new era of human development, all under the comforting glow of shared warmth. The first flicker had become a steady, life-giving beacon. You've just experienced the profound comfort and social evolution ignited by the communal campfire. Now feel the subtle but revolutionary expansion of human capability that followed. Night's expansion, hours gained. You observe how the mastery of fire didn't just provide safety, but fundamentally extended human activity beyond the strict confines of daylight hours, reshaping the very rhythm of ancient life. It's like discovering an extra few hours in every day, opening up entirely new possibilities. Imagine the shift in your daily routine. Before fire, your activities ceased with the setting sun. There was little to do and much to fear in the pitch black. But now, with a steady flame illuminating your cave or simple shelter, you can continue tasks that require light and focus. You might see groups meticulously sharpening stone tools, weaving baskets from reeds, repairing hunting gear, or even engaging in early forms of artistic expression on cave walls, all under the flickering glow. The hours after dusk are no longer lost to enforced inactivity. They become productive time, enriching daily life and pushing the boundaries of what was possible. This wasn't just about survival. It was about thriving, about making the day longer on human terms. One mainstream historical fact about this extension of activity is its impact on cognitive development. The ability to engage in complex tasks, storytelling, and social bonding for longer periods, particularly during the relatively safe and focused environment of night, is thought to have played a significant role in the development of language, abstract thought, and cultural complexity. It's why you still gather around a screen or a lamp to talk and work. It's a deep, ancient impulse. A quirky tidbit? Some theories even suggest that the ability to stay awake longer around a fire might have slightly altered our primate ancestors' natural sleep patterns over millennia, slowly paving the way for the consolidated monophasic sleep common in modern humans, moving away from the more fragmented sleep typical of animals more vulnerable at night. We basically used fire to train ourselves to sleep in longer stretches. Historians still argue whether the extension of hours gained through fire primarily led to greater social cohesion and cultural complexity, or if its most significant impact was purely on technological advancement by allowing more time for tool making and innovation. Did fire make us more connected, or just more ingenious? For you, the sensation is one of nascent freedom. The expansion of hours gained by fire marked a pivotal moment in human history, fundamentally changing humanity's relationship with time itself. This newfound ability to challenge the night, to push back the boundaries of darkness, was the first profound step towards a world where artificial light would eventually dominate, leading us further and further away from the ancient, sun-driven rhythms. The night was slowly, painstakingly, beginning to yield. You felt the precious hours gained by the campfire's steady glow, expanding the boundaries of the human day. But now, you realize the limitations of a stationary fire. To truly conquer the night, humanity needed to take light with them. Early torches, portable lights dawn. You discover the very first attempts at carrying fire beyond the hearth, a pivotal step that transformed humans from passive observers of darkness to active navigators within it. It's like equipping yourself with a tiny personal sun, allowing you to venture into the vast, unknown shadows. Imagine yourself as an ancient hunter or gatherer, no longer confined to the safety of the communal fire pit. You hold a bundle of resinous wood, perhaps wrapped in animal fat or pitch, the flame casting dancing shadows ahead of you. You feel the heat on your hand, the flickering light pushing back the immediate darkness, revealing routes to dig, pathways to follow, or even surprising glimpses of nocturnal animals. This portable light meant newfound freedom. It allowed for short nocturnal journeys, perhaps to check traps, retrieve fallen game, or even simply move between shelters in the dark. It wasn't perfect, smoky, short-lived, and a constant fire hazard, but it was a revolutionary step, giving humans an unprecedented degree of autonomy from the sun's schedule. One mainstream historical fact about torches is their widespread use across diverse ancient cultures, from Stone Age caves to Roman streets. Materials varied widely, from bundles of sticks dipped in animal fat to hollow reeds filled with oil. Their ubiquity highlights the universal human need to extend activity into the night. It's a bit like discovering that everyone, everywhere eventually figured out that carrying a lit stick was a pretty good idea. A quirky tidbit? Some theories suggest that early hominids might have first observed how burning branches from natural wildfires could be carried, leading them to experiment with making their own crude torches. It's almost as if nature handed them the instruction manual for portable illumination. Historians still argue whether the development of effective portable light sources primarily led to increased hunting success during nighttime hours, or if its more significant impact was on safety during travel between settlements after dusk. Did it make us better hunters, or just safer commuters? For you, the sensation is one of empowering independence. Early torches represent humanity's first deliberate act of defying absolute darkness, literally extending the reach of human influence into the night. This fragile, flickering light wasn't just a tool, it was a symbol of growing ingenuity, paving the way for increasingly sophisticated forms of artificial illumination that would ultimately redefine human existence itself. The path ahead, though dimly lit, was now open. You've advanced from the primal campfire and the simple torch, feeling the growing urge to illuminate more of the night. Now, you arrive at a more refined, sophisticated step in humanity's quest for light. Oil lamps, ancient illumination innovations. You explore the ingenious designs and widespread adoption of oil-based lighting in ancient civilizations, a significant leap from crude fire carrying. It's like watching humanity graduate from holding a burning stick to engineering dedicated, reusable sources of gentle, steady light. Imagine yourself in an ancient Egyptian tomb, a Roman villa, or a bustling Greek marketplace after sunset. The air is filled with the subtle scent of olive oil, fish oil, or animal fat, slowly burning in small, sculpted vessels. You see intricate lamps made of clay, bronze, or even glass, often beautifully decorated. Some have a simple spout for a linen wick. Others are more elaborate, designed to hang from ceilings or sit on elegant stands. The light isn't blinding, but it's consistent and manageable, allowing for intricate work, reading, or extended social gatherings indoors. This steady, controllable illumination marked a significant improvement over flickering torches, offering a new level of domestic comfort and extended productivity. It was the original mood lighting, thousands of years before dimmer switches. One mainstream historical fact about oil lamps is their prevalence across nearly all major ancient civilizations, from Mesopotamia and Egypt to Greece and Rome, and even beyond. They were the primary artificial light source for personal and indoor use for millennia. This widespread adoption underscores their practicality and efficiency compared to earlier methods. It's a bit like discovering that everyone in the ancient world had their own version of a favorite bedside lamp. A quirky tidbit? The quality and type of oil used in these lamps varied greatly, often reflecting the local environment and available resources. For instance, whale oil became a popular, albeit environmentally costly, fuel in some later eras due to its bright, clean burn, long before anyone considered it might involve a very inconvenient commute for the whale. Historians still argue whether the development of sophisticated oil lamp technology primarily fueled the expansion of literacy and intellectual pursuits in ancient societies, or if its more significant impact was on prolonging the workday for artisans and laborers. Did it make us smarter, or just work us harder? For you, the sensation is one of quiet ingenuity. Oil lamps represent a crucial refinement in humanity's control over light. They allowed for a more predictable, sustained defiance of darkness, fostering a deeper connection to knowledge, art, and extended domestic life. This innovation paved the way for future advancements, steadily illuminating humanity's path forward, one gentle, smoky flicker at a time. The world was becoming a little less dark, inside and out. You've moved past the steady glow of oil lamps, appreciating their ancient ingenuity. Now, your journey through light's history brings you to an even more refined and ubiquitous form of illumination. Candles, steady flames, rituals, commerce. You see how candles evolved into a truly reliable and accessible light source, profoundly impacting everyday life, from humble homes to grand cathedrals. It's like discovering the original portable, self-contained light, ready to illuminate any moment. Imagine yourself in a medieval European castle, a bustling marketplace in a quiet town, or even a simple peasant's cottage. The air carries the faint, sweet scent of beeswax or the richer aroma of tallow. You see candles, crafted from animal fat or rendered beeswax, perched in simple iron holders, elegant candelabras, or hanging from wooden beams. Their flame, though small, is remarkably steady, offering a soft, consistent light that makes reading, writing, or intricate craftwork possible well after sunset. Beyond practical illumination, candles become deeply embedded in rituals, lighting a path in a dark church, marking a sacred vow, or simply signifying the passage of time. They even become a unit of commerce, their burning rate sometimes used to time auctions or legal proceedings. This silent, steady flame was a revolution in accessible light. One mainstream historical fact about candles is their widespread use dating back thousands of years in various forms. With significant advancements in materials, like beeswax improving on tallow for a cleaner, longer burn and wicks over centuries, their simple effectiveness made them indispensable across all social classes. It's why you still see candles used in special occasions today. They carry a deep historical resonance. A quirky tidbit? In medieval times, candle clocks were sometimes used, where candles were marked with lines or pins at intervals, and as the candle burned down, the pins would fall, or the marks would indicate the passage of time. It was a very literal way of burning the midnight oil to keep track of the hours. Historians still argue whether the widespread availability of candles primarily fueled a greater emphasis on individual domestic life and personal study, or if its more significant impact was on facilitating longer working hours in various trades. Did it create more cozy evenings, or just more hours at the loom? For you, the sensation is one of quiet permeation. Candles represent a subtle but profound step in making artificial light commonplace and personal. Their steady flame brought a new level of control over darkness, allowing for more intimate gatherings, individual contemplation, and the extension of daily tasks long after the sun had retired. The world was slowly, steadily brightening, one measured flicker at a time. You've just moved from the steady glow of candles. Now shift your focus to a truly transformative moment in urban history, a point where night itself began to visibly retreat. The gaslight era, urban glow begins. You witness cities becoming illuminated by a revolutionary new source of piped gas, fundamentally changing what it meant to navigate and live in a city after dark. It's like watching an entire cityscape slowly emerge from the shadows, bathed in a soft, ethereal radiance. Imagine yourself strolling through the streets of London or Paris in the early 19th century. Instead of solitary street vendors with lanterns, you see rows of elegant gas lamps, their flames encased in glass globes, casting a warm, slightly yellow light. The darkness is no longer absolute. Instead, it's a muted backdrop against which buildings, carriages, and figures appear with newfound clarity. The invention of gaslighting allowed for the creation of truly public illuminated spaces, making streets safer, enabling nighttime commerce to flourish, and extending social life beyond the confines of private homes. The sheer scale of this illumination was unprecedented. You might feel a sense of wonder, a realization that the night, for the first time, was being systematically pushed back. One mainstream historical fact about gaslighting is its rapid adoption in major European and American cities from the early 1800s onwards. London installed its first public gas lights in 1807, and by the mid-19th century, many urban centers had extensive gas networks, transforming civic life. It was a massive infrastructure undertaking, basically creating an entirely new glowing nervous system for cities. A quirky tidbit? Early gas lamps often required a lamplighter to manually ignite each lamp at dusk and extinguish it at dawn, a common and often iconic urban profession before automated systems became widespread. Imagine having a job where your main goal was to literally turn on and off the city's glow every single day. Historians still argue whether the primary impact of the gaslight era was on increasing public safety and reducing crime rates in cities, or if its more significant effect was on stimulating economic growth by enabling longer business hours and new forms of nighttime entertainment. Did it make cities safer, or just richer and more vibrant? For you, the sensation is one of profound societal change. The gaslight era represents a pivotal moment where artificial light moved from individual tools to large-scale networked systems, transforming entire urban environments. This glowing revolution set the stage for even more powerful forms of illumination, steadily diminishing the dominion of natural darkness and paving the way for the continuous, bright nights that define modern existence. The cities were literally waking up, even after the sun went down. You've just witnessed the grand illumination of cities during the gaslight era. Now, prepare for an even more profound leap, one that truly brought light into every corner of human existence. The incandescent revolution, Edison's bright idea. You understand the immense and lasting impact of the widespread electric light bulb, a technology that would fundamentally reshape how people lived, worked, and slept, ushering in the modern age of constant illumination. It's like a scientific Prometheus, finally delivering fire to every home, safe and endlessly reproducible. Imagine yourself in a late 19th century workshop, perhaps a dimly lit laboratory, where a filament glows steadily within an evacuated glass bulb. This isn't just another lamp. This is reliable, bright, and crucially, switchable light, available at the flick of a button. You feel the collective astonishment as electric lighting begins to replace gas and oil lamps in homes, factories, and public spaces. The light is cleaner, safer, no open flames or explosive gas, and more consistent than anything before it. This invention didn't just extend the day. It blurred the lines between day and night, allowing for continuous factory production, safer navigation of homes after dark, and entirely new forms of evening leisure. It was the invention that truly turned night into day, if you had the power to run it. One mainstream historical fact about the incandescent bulb is that while many inventors contributed to its development, Thomas Edison is widely credited with developing the first commercially practical and long-lasting incandescent light bulb in 1879. His genius was not just in the bulb itself, but in creating an entire system of electrical generation and distribution to make it viable for mass adoption. It's a bit like inventing the car, but also building all the roads and gas stations to go with it. A quirky tidbit? Early incandescent bulbs were sometimes called light without fire, or bottled sunshine, highlighting the sheer marvel and novelty of light that didn't rely on combustion. Imagine trying to explain to someone from the gaslight era that you could just turn on the sun. Historians still argue whether the widespread adoption of electric light primarily led to an overall increase in human productivity and economic growth, or if it inadvertently contributed to a global epidemic of sleep deprivation by disrupting our natural circadian rhythms. Did it make us more efficient, or just more tired? For you, the sensation is one of immense power and profound change. The incandescent revolution was more than just a technological advancement. It was a fundamental shift in humanity's relationship with darkness. This bright idea illuminated the path to a 24/7 world, forever altering our ancient patterns of rest and activity, and paving the way for the complex challenges and opportunities of modern lighting. The world was now truly bright, and there was no turning back. You've witnessed the incandescent revolution and the widespread embrace of personal electric light. But as homes and businesses glowed brighter, another type of electric illumination began to transform public spaces. Arc lamps, public spaces blaze. You observe the blinding brilliance of early electric lighting in large areas. a raw, powerful light that redefined visibility on a grand scale. It's like standing before a man-made sun, temporarily eclipsing the very stars. Imagine yourself in a late 19th century factory, a bustling train station, or a grand city street. The air crackles with an almost palpable energy. High above, two carbon rods slowly burn, drawing an intense, searingly bright arc of light between them. This isn't the soft glow of an incandescent bulb. This is a powerful, almost harsh light, designed for sheer intensity. It illuminates vast spaces, pushing back the shadows from entire city blocks, allowing for continuous operations in factories where work had previously halted at dusk. You might feel a sense of awe at its sheer power, but also a slight discomfort from its unblinking intensity. This was light as a brute force, raw and untamed, signaling a new era of industrial might and urban ambition. One mainstream historical fact about arc lamps is their early adoption for large-scale outdoor and industrial lighting, often preceding incandescent bulbs in public use due to their superior brightness. Charles F. Brush developed an improved arc lamp and dynamo system in the late 1870s, which quickly saw widespread commercial deployment, including illuminating Cleveland's public square in 1879. It was a clear sign that night was no longer going to be the dominant force in urban environments. A quirky tidbit? Early arc lamps were incredibly noisy, emitting a loud buzzing or hissing sound as the carbon rods burned, making them less suitable for quiet indoor spaces. Imagine trying to have a romantic dinner under a lamp that sounds like a giant angry bee. Historians still argue whether the advent of powerful arc lighting primarily contributed to an increase in industrial accidents by extending working hours into the night, or if it significantly improved safety in public spaces by deterring crime. Did it make factories more dangerous, or streets safer? For you, the sensation is one of overwhelming transformation. Arc lamps, with their stark, powerful light, represented a profound statement. Humanity was no longer content with merely pushing back the night. It was beginning to dominate it. This blazing revolution set the stage for even more sophisticated and ubiquitous forms of artificial illumination, forever altering the visual landscape of cities and the very rhythm of human life. The night was becoming a spectacle, ablaze with newfound power. You've been dazzled by the raw power of arc lamps illuminating public spaces. Now, let's zoom in on the quiet, persistent innovation that continued to refine the electric glow, filaments and watts, light's efficiency quest. You explore the relentless drive for brighter, longer-lasting, and more efficient light bulbs, a testament to human ingenuity constantly striving for improvement. It's like watching countless inventors try to squeeze more sunshine out of a tiny glass sphere. Imagine yourself in the early 20th century, a time when electric light was still somewhat of a luxury, and engineers were tirelessly experimenting. You see scientists painstakingly testing different materials for the incandescent filament, first carbonized bamboo, then various metals, until tungsten emerges as the clear winner. You feel the constant push to make bulbs consume less electricity while emitting more light, striving for that perfect balance of brilliance and economy. This wasn't just about making lights brighter. It was about making them accessible and affordable for everyone, transforming electricity from a novelty into a household necessity. Every incremental improvement, every extra lumen per watt, meant more homes, more businesses, and more lives touched by the electric glow. One mainstream historical fact here is the significant increase in the efficiency of incandescent bulbs over their lifespan. Early bulbs were incredibly inefficient, converting most of their energy into heat rather than light. Over decades, advancements in filament materials, bulb shapes, and inert gas fillings dramatically improved their light output and longevity before they were eventually phased out by newer technologies. It's a bit like watching a car's fuel efficiency slowly but surely get better over generations. A quirky tidbit? Before standardized wattage ratings, bulbs were often described by their candle power, a very old measurement that literally compared their brightness to a specific type of candle. Imagine asking for a 60 candle power bulb at the hardware store. Historians still argue whether the relentless pursuit of light efficiency primarily drove the expansion of electrical grids globally, making power ubiquitous, or if it simply catered to an ever-growing human desire for more and brighter light, regardless of necessity. Did it pull power to us, or did we push for more light? For you, the sensation is one of relentless innovation. The quest for more efficient filaments and higher wattage output represents humanity's continuous effort to perfect artificial light, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. This tireless pursuit not only brought light to the masses, but also set the stage for the next wave of lighting revolutions, inadvertently leading to new challenges for your ancient, biologically programmed relationship with darkness. The pursuit of brightness was relentless. You've explored the relentless quest for more efficient light bulbs. Now, as the glow of electric light becomes ubiquitous, a new phenomenon begins to emerge. Subtle at first, then overwhelming. Light pollutions rise. Lost stars. You notice the increasing, diffuse glow of artificial light obscuring the night sky, fundamentally changing humanity's ancient relationship with the cosmos. It's like watching an invisible, ever-expanding dome of light slowly swallow the celestial tapestry that once guided and inspired generations. Imagine standing in a modern city at night, looking up. Instead of the shimmering Milky Way, a breathtaking river of a million stars, you see only a handful of the brightest constellations. The faint glow of city lights, scattered upwards and outwards, creates a pervasive haze that washes out the fainter celestial objects. This isn't just about aesthetics. It has profound ecological consequences, disrupting the natural behaviors of nocturnal animals, from migrating birds to insects. For humans, it means a growing disconnection from a primal source of wonder and navigation that was constant for millennia. You might feel a pang of loss, a sense of something irreplaceable slowly fading from view. One mainstream historical fact about light pollution is its relatively recent emergence as a significant environmental concern, largely coinciding with the widespread adoption of inefficient, unshielded outdoor lighting in the 20th century. Organizations like the International Dark Sky Association were formed in the late 1980s to combat this growing issue. It's a bit like finally realizing that leaving all your lights on, all the time, has consequences beyond your electricity bill. A quirky tidbit? Many ancient cultures used the night sky as their primary calendar and clock, relying on the predictable movements of stars and constellations for agriculture, navigation, and religious ceremonies. For them, a sky full of stars wasn't just beautiful. It was fundamentally practical. Imagine navigating across an ocean without GPS, guided only by what you can't see anymore. Historians still argue whether the economic benefits of continuous outdoor illumination and extended nighttime activity outweigh the ecological and cultural costs of widespread light pollution. Are brighter nights worth a dimmer sky? For you, the sensation is one of poignant beauty and subtle loss. Light pollution's rise is an unintended consequence of our mastery over darkness, a modern environmental challenge to an ancient, profound connection. This chapter in Artificial Light's story reminds you that every technological advancement, no matter how brilliant, carries unforeseen trade-offs, and that sometimes the greatest light is found in the absence of our own. The silent, eternal stars are slowly being forgotten by the glow of human progress. You've observed the growing veil of light pollution obscuring the stars. Now, turn your gaze to a more deliberate and dazzling use of artificial light, one designed to capture attention and stir desires. Neon dreams, advertising's vibrant hues. You see how electric light transforms into dazzling commercial displays, reshaping urban aesthetics and human perception, turning nighttime into a canvas for vibrant, inescapable messages. It's like watching the very air of the city come alive with glowing, persuasive whispers. Imagine yourself strolling through a bustling city square in the early 20th century. The soft gaslight has been replaced by the sharper, brighter glow of incandescent bulbs. But now, something new emerges. Tubes of glowing gas, bent into letters and shapes, emitting impossible colors, fiery reds, electric blues, vivid greens. These are neon signs, beckoning you into shops, announcing products, and illuminating theaters. You feel the visual assault, the overwhelming cascade of light and color competing for your attention. This wasn't just about showing the way. It was about selling, about creating a spectacle, transforming urban nightscapes into glowing arenas of commerce and entertainment. It was the original influencer marketing, but with actual bright lights instead of just bright ideas. One mainstream historical fact about neon lighting is its invention by French engineer Georges Claude in 1910, who first demonstrated a neon lamp at the Paris Motor Show. It quickly gained popularity for advertising due to its intense colors and ability to form intricate designs, becoming synonymous with bustling city centers and nightlife. It's a bit like discovering the secret ingredient that made cities truly glow with personality. A quirky tidbit? Early neon signs were incredibly expensive to produce and maintain, often requiring skilled glass benders and high-voltage transformers. This made them a luxury item, typically only affordable for major brands or large entertainment venues, adding to their allure and prestige. Imagine paying a fortune just to have your name literally glowing in the night. Historians still argue whether the proliferation of vibrant, commercial light displays primarily led to increased consumerism and the rise of modern advertising, or if it simply reflected and amplified a pre-existing human desire for spectacle and visual stimulation. Did it create new wants, or just illuminate old ones? For you, the sensation is one of dazzling persuasion. Neon dreams represent artificial light's evolution from mere utility to a powerful tool of influence, reshaping urban environments into canvases of commercial art. This chapter in Light's story highlights how humanity has harnessed the very essence of illumination not just to see, but to compel, to entice, and to forever alter the visual landscape of the night. The city itself had become a giant, glowing advertisement. You've just been immersed in the dazzling, persuasive glow of neon. Now, step into a more functional yet equally transformative realm of artificial light. Fluorescent glow, office life extended. You witness the advent of practical, energy-efficient lighting for interiors. profoundly changing the environments where vast numbers of people worked, studied, and lived. It's like discovering that you can bring daylight indoors, cheaply and effectively, regardless of the weather outside. Imagine yourself in a bustling office, a school classroom, or a large industrial hall in the mid-20th century. Gone are the soft, warm tones of incandescent bulbs or the flickering of gas lights. Instead, you see long, tubular lamps emitting a cool, often slightly bluish white light. The hum of their ballasts is a constant, subtle companion. Fluorescent lighting was a game changer for interior spaces. It was far more energy efficient and longer lasting than incandescent bulbs, making it economically viable to brightly illuminate vast indoor areas for many hours. You feel the constant, uniform brightness, allowing for sustained attention to tasks regardless of the time of day or the weather outside. This wasn't about aesthetics. It was about efficiency, productivity, and making indoor environments relentlessly bright. One mainstream historical fact about fluorescent lighting is its rapid adoption in commercial, industrial, and institutional settings from the 1930s and 40s onwards. Its energy efficiency during wartime and the post-war economic boom made it the go-to choice for lighting large spaces. It's a bit like discovering a cheat code for perpetual daylight in a building, and everyone decided to use it. A quirky tidbit? Early fluorescent bulbs were sometimes criticized for their slightly unflattering color rendering, making people look a bit sickly or green. This led to a preference for warmer incandescent light in homes, even as fluorescence dominated workplaces. Imagine trying to put on your makeup under light that makes everyone look like a zombie from a black and white movie. Historians still argue whether the widespread adoption of fluorescent lighting primarily led to improved worker productivity and educational outcomes due to better visibility, or if its cool, sometimes harsh, light contributed to issues like eye strain, headaches, and subtle disruptions to mood and well-being. Did it make us work better, or just feel a bit more tired at the end of the day? For you, the sensation is one of pervasive functionality. The fluorescent glow represents a critical step in making artificial light ubiquitous, not just outdoors, but deep within the built environment. This era of widespread, uniform indoor illumination profoundly altered the human experience, allowing for an unprecedented expansion of indoor activity, further detaching human rhythms from the natural cycles of day and night. The world, indoors at least, was becoming perpetually bright. You've absorbed the pervasive, functional glow of fluorescent lights and how they transformed indoor environments. Now, you arrive at the cutting edge of modern illumination and confront its most subtle yet profound biological impact. Blue light's burden, circadian disruption. You understand the specific biological effects of modern LED and screen light on your internal clock, revealing how a seemingly harmless glow can subtly yet significantly throw your ancient rhythms out of sync. It's like discovering that your constant companion, your screen, is actually whispering confusing messages to your deepest biological processes. Imagine yourself staring at your phone, tablet, or computer screen late into the evening. The crisp, bright images and text are clear, vibrant, and engaging. But what you might not realize is that these modern LED screens, along with many energy-efficient light bulbs, emit a disproportionately high amount of light in the blue spectrum. Your ancient eyes, evolved under the yellow-red glow of fire and the balanced spectrum of the sun, interpret this blue light as a signal of daytime. You feel a subtle internal confusion, a gentle whisper from your brain that says, It's still daytime. Stay alert. This effectively delays the release of melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. Your natural sleep onset is pushed later. Your deep sleep might be fragmented, and you awaken feeling less refreshed. One mainstream historical fact here is that research on the impact of specific light wavelengths, particularly blue light, on circadian rhythms and melatonin suppression gained significant traction in the early 21st century with the widespread adoption of LED technology. This scientific understanding has led to the development of night mode settings on devices and warmer-toned lighting options. It's a bit like discovering that the color of your socks actually affects your digestion. Completely unexpected, but scientifically proven. A quirky tidbit? Before electric light, your ancestors would likely have been exposed to a fire's warm, reddish-orange glow in the evenings, which actually has a minimal effect on melatonin production, making it a much more sleep-friendly form of evening illumination. They were basically using the original warm light filter without even knowing it. Historians still argue whether the convenience and functionality offered by ubiquitous blue light-emitting devices outweigh the potential long-term health consequences of chronic circadian rhythm disruption, including links to metabolic issues and mood disorders. Are we trading convenience for deep well-being? For you, the sensation is one of profound biological vulnerability in a technologically advanced world. Blue light's burden highlights the ongoing tension between our innovative drive to illuminate everything and the delicate, ancient biological programming that governs our very ability to rest. This chapter in Artificial Light's story serves as a crucial reminder that the light you choose to surround yourself with has a powerful, often unseen, influence on your internal clock, shaping not just your night, but your entire day. The quiet hum of your screen is now a silent, persistent whisper to your brain. You've felt the subtle yet powerful biological disruption caused by blue light. Now, cast your eyes upon the latest evolution in lighting technology, a revolution that promises both incredible control and new challenges. LEDs transform everything. Efficiency, and customization. You see the unprecedented capabilities offered by light-emitting diodes, from their incredible energy efficiency to their ability to produce a vast spectrum of colors and intensities, reshaping how we illuminate our world. It's like discovering that light is no longer a fixed entity, but a malleable, programmable force. Imagine walking into a modern home, office, or public space. The lighting isn't just on or off, it's dynamic. You might see a ceiling subtly shifting its color temperature throughout the day, mimicking the natural arc of the sun, or perhaps accent lights changing hues to match a specific mood. LEDs, being solid-state devices, are incredibly durable, compact, and consume far less energy than their predecessors. You feel the cool, precise glow, understanding that this technology allows for a level of control over light that was unimaginable just a few decades ago. From tiny indicator lights on your electronics to massive stadium floodlights, LEDs are everywhere, silently reshaping your visual environment with their remarkable efficiency and versatility. It's like having a digital paintbrush for light, allowing you to create any luminous masterpiece you can imagine. One mainstream historical fact about LEDs is their relatively recent commercial widespread adoption, especially for general illumination, which really took off in the early 2000s after decades of development. The blue LED was a particularly crucial breakthrough, earning its inventors the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2014, as it allowed for the creation of white light by combining blue with yellow phosphors. It's a bit like the final piece of a very bright, very important puzzle falling into place. A quirky tidbit? Before LEDs became truly efficient for lighting, they were primarily used as small indicator lights on electronic devices because they were too dim to illuminate larger spaces. Imagine if your phone notification light was the brightest light source in your room. Historians still argue whether the widespread adoption of highly efficient LEDs will primarily lead to significant global energy savings and reduced carbon emissions, or if their affordability and versatility will simply encourage us to use more light, leading to new forms of light pollution and even greater circadian disruption. Will they save the planet, or just make it perpetually brighter? For you, the sensation is one of powerful transformation. LEDs represent a pivotal moment in artificial light's journey, offering solutions to old problems while simultaneously introducing new complexities. This chapter highlights how humanity's drive for innovation continues to redefine our relationship with light, giving us unprecedented power to shape our environment and, by extension, our very biology. The future of light is now truly in your hands. You've just witnessed the revolutionary efficiency and customization offered by LEDs. Now, extend your gaze to how these smart light sources are becoming increasingly responsive to your very presence and mood. Smart lighting, adaptive environments emerge. You explore how connected lighting systems, integrated with sensors and AI, are beginning to create dynamic, intuitive environments that theoretically enhance comfort and well-being. It's like having a personal lighting concierge, anticipating your needs before you even voice them. Imagine stepping into a room where the lights subtly adjust as you enter, dimming or brightening based on the time of day, the ambient light levels, or even your activity. You see fixtures that can change not just brightness, but also color temperature, shifting from a cool, invigorating white in the morning to a warm, relaxing amber in the evening. These smart systems, often controlled by apps or voice commands, go beyond simple on-off switches. They learn your habits, respond to environmental cues, and can even synchronize with your daily schedule. You might feel a sense of effortless ease, a seamless integration of light into your life, almost as if the building itself understands your needs. This isn't just about convenience. It's about creating living spaces that actively adapt to and support human behavior. One mainstream historical fact about smart lighting is its rapid growth as a segment of the Internet of Things, IoT, with major tech companies investing heavily in developing interconnected home and building automation systems. While individual smart bulbs existed earlier, the true smart revolution came with networked control and sensor integration in the late 2010s. It's a bit like upgrading from a simple light switch to a symphony conductor for your entire lighting system. A quirky tidbit? Some smart lighting systems are even designed to detect if a room is empty and automatically turn off the lights, or to simulate occupancy when you're away, subtly deterring potential intruders. They're basically giving your house a very bright, energy-efficient security guard with an excellent memory. Historians still argue whether the increased personalization and convenience offered by smart lighting truly lead to improved occupant comfort and energy savings in the long run, or if the complexity of these systems and potential privacy concerns will limit their ultimate widespread adoption. Do they make our lives better, or just more complicated with endless app updates? For you, the sensation is one of quiet intelligence. Smart lighting represents humanity's ongoing ambition to create environments that are not just functional but truly adaptive and intuitive. This chapter in Light's journey highlights how our innovations are moving beyond mere illumination, aiming to create dynamic spaces that could subtly influence our moods, productivity, and even our underlying biological rhythms, for better or worse. Your environment is beginning to truly see you. You've explored the adaptive environments created by smart lighting. Now, delve into an even more refined application of light technology, one specifically designed to harmonize with your inner clock: circadian lighting, health-focused illumination. You discover how modern lighting systems are being engineered to support your natural sleep-wake cycles, aiming to optimize your well-being by mimicking the sun's natural progression throughout the day. It's like having a miniature artificial sun in your home or office, perfectly calibrated to keep your body's rhythm in tune. Imagine spending your day in a space where the overhead lights subtly change their intensity and color temperature as the hours pass. In the morning, they emit a bright, cool, blue-rich light, signaling alertness and boosting your energy, much like the morning sun. As midday approaches, the light remains bright, but softens slightly. Then, in the late afternoon and evening, the lights gradually dim and shift to a warmer, amber-toned hue, signaling to your brain that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. You might feel a subtle sense of improved focus during the day and a greater ease in falling asleep at night, all thanks to this intelligently orchestrated illumination. This isn't just about brightness. It's about the quality of light and its direct influence on your internal biology. One mainstream historical fact about circadian lighting is its foundation in the scientific understanding of non-visual photoreceptors in the eye, particularly those containing melanopsin, discovered in the early 2000s. These cells are highly sensitive to blue light and play a crucial role in regulating your circadian rhythm, even independently of vision. It's basically discovering that your eyes aren't just for seeing, they're also for setting your internal clock, and those cells are really picky about the color blue. A quirky tidbit? Some high-performance athletes and astronauts use specialized circadian lighting systems to help them rapidly adjust to new time zones or altered schedules, boosting their performance and mitigating jet lag or space lag. They're essentially hacking their internal clocks with light. Historians still argue whether widespread adoption of circadian lighting in homes and workplaces will primarily lead to a significant improvement in public health outcomes, including better sleep, mood, and cognitive function, or if the individual variability in human response to light will make a one-size-fits-all approach less effective. Will it be a panacea for modern fatigue, or just another niche tech solution? For you, the sensation is one of profound biological harmony. Circadian lighting represents humanity's attempt to reconcile its technological prowess with its ancient biological needs, using our understanding of light to foster deeper well-being. This chapter in Light's journey highlights a conscious effort to leverage artificial illumination not just for visibility, but for the subtle, powerful orchestration of your very being, guiding you gently through the natural rhythms of life. The light around you is learning to whisper secrets to your body. You've explored how circadian lighting seeks to synchronize with your internal rhythms. Now, consider a fascinating extension of light's power, moving beyond mere illumination to direct intervention for well-being. Light as therapy, mood, and well-being. You learn about the therapeutic applications of specific light exposures, revealing how carefully controlled light can be a powerful tool for treating mood disorders, sleep disturbances, and other conditions. It's like discovering that light isn't just something you see. It's a potent medicine for the mind and body. Imagine sitting in a bright room during the dark winter months. basking in the glow of a specialized lamp that mimics the intensity and spectrum of natural sunlight. You might be experiencing seasonal affective disorder, SAD, a mood disorder linked to reduced light exposure. You feel a gradual lift in your spirits, a return of energy and motivation as this therapeutic light stimulates crucial brain chemicals. Or perhaps you're using light therapy to reset a severely disrupted sleep schedule, gently nudging your internal clock back into alignment. This isn't just a mood enhancer, it's a medical intervention, demonstrating light's profound physiological effects beyond simple vision. It's like having a sun doctor who prescribes perfectly timed rays for your well-being. One mainstream historical fact about light therapy is its increasing recognition and use in clinical settings for various conditions. Bright light therapy, BLT, particularly for SAD, has decades of research supporting its efficacy, often more effective than traditional antidepressants for some individuals. It's a bit like discovering that simply opening the curtains can be part of your treatment plan, which is pretty neat. A quirky tidbit? Beyond SAD, light therapy is also being explored for its potential in treating non-seasonal depression, anxiety, jet lag, and even cognitive decline. Some preliminary studies are even looking at very short, intense flashes of light to potentially improve memory or brain function, though we're still a long way from turning on your brain with a strobe light. Historians still argue whether the growing reliance on artificial light therapy signals a fundamental disconnect from our natural environment that needs addressing, or if it simply represents a necessary and innovative adaptation to modern living conditions. Are we using light to fix problems we created with too much artificial light? Or is it a genuine medical breakthrough? For you, the sensation is one of profound therapeutic potential. Light as Therapy highlights humanity's deepening understanding of light's intricate biological influence, moving beyond basic illumination to precision-engineered applications for health and healing. This chapter in light's journey underscores its versatile power, transforming from a simple tool into a sophisticated instrument for human flourishing, shining a beacon on new possibilities for well-being. The very spectrum of light holds secrets for your health. You've seen light transform into therapy, a powerful tool for well-being. Now, cast your mind far beyond Earth's familiar cycles, to environments where the very concept of day and night is alien. Space exploration's light, off-world needs. You ponder the unique challenges and ingenious solutions for maintaining human health and performance through artificial light in the unforgiving, endless darkness of space. It's like designing a miniature, self-sustaining sun to carry with you across the cosmos. Imagine yourself aboard a long-duration mission to Mars, or living on a lunar outpost. There's no natural 24-hour sun cycle to regulate your body. Your internal clock, honed by millennia of earthly days and nights, is suddenly without its primary cue. You feel the profound disorientation, the subtle but insidious creep of fatigue and mood changes as your circadian rhythm drifts. This is where artificial light becomes absolutely critical, not just for seeing, but for sustaining life. Specialized lighting systems are developed, meticulously programmed to mimic an Earth-like day-night cycle, complete with shifts in brightness and color temperature. Even a simulated sunrise and sunset. You might see astronauts using light visors or light therapy boxes to combat sleep disturbances and maintain alertness during critical tasks. This isn't just about visibility. It's about psychological and physiological survival in an utterly alien environment. One mainstream historical fact about light in space is the significant research conducted by NASA and other space agencies into circadian countermeasures for astronauts. Early space missions faced issues with sleep disruption and fatigue, prompting extensive studies on how controlled light exposure, exercise, and diet could help maintain crew health and performance. It's why you hear about astronauts having very strict schedules, even when floating around in zero gravity. A quirky tidbit? On the International Space Station, ISS, the lighting system can be programmed to simulate specific ground locations' day-night cycles, or even to create dynamic, vibrant lighting for special events, trying to bring a little bit of Earth's familiar comfort into the vastness of space. Imagine having Paris at sunset projected onto your space station ceiling. Historians still argue whether the psychological benefits of simulating Earth-like light cycles in space are more crucial for astronaut well-being, or if the physiological necessity of regulating circadian rhythms to prevent long-term health issues takes precedence. Is it about mental comfort or preventing physical breakdown? For you, the sensation is one of profound ingenuity and dependence. Space exploration's light highlights humanity's absolute reliance on controlled illumination to conquer new frontiers. This chapter in Light's story demonstrates that even when we leave our planet, the ancient biological need for a regulated light-dark cycle remains fundamental, forcing us to become masters of artificial environments to ensure our continued survival and flourishing beyond Earth. The sun's influence, even when unseen, still shapes the cosmos we inhabit. You've pondered the meticulous design of light for off-world needs. Now, shift your gaze back to Earth, to a growing movement that seeks to reverse some of the effects of our widespread illumination. The dark sky movement, reclaiming natural night. You witness conscious efforts to reduce light pollution and preserve the true, unblemished darkness of the night sky. A push to reconnect with an ancient, profound aspect of human experience that is rapidly fading. It's like a quiet rebellion against the relentless glow, seeking to remember what was lost. Imagine standing far from any city, in a designated dark sky park. The air is crisp, the silence profound. You look up, and the familiar handful of stars you see in your backyard is replaced by a breathtaking, unimaginable tapestry of light. The Milky Way stretches overhead like a luminous cloud. Distant galaxies become visible to the naked eye, and meteors streak across the inky canvas. You feel a sense of awe, humility, and deep connection to the cosmos that was commonplace for your ancestors but is a rarity for most modern humans. This movement isn't about turning off all lights. It's about using light responsibly, directing it downwards, shielding it, using warmer colors, and only illuminating what's necessary, when necessary. It's a recognition that darkness itself is a valuable resource, vital for ecological health and human well-being. One mainstream historical fact about the dark sky movement is the establishment of the International Dark Sky Association, IDA, in 1988, a global organization dedicated to preserving and protecting the night environment. They certify dark sky places around the world, recognizing areas with exceptional night sky quality and proactive efforts to reduce light pollution. It's a bit like giving a gold star to places that remember how to turn off the porch light. A quirky tidbit? Some ecologists have found that even seemingly small amounts of artificial light at night can significantly disrupt the navigation of migrating birds, insects, and even sea turtle hatchlings, leading them off course or making them vulnerable to predators. It turns out even tiny nightlights can cause big problems for the animal kingdom. Historians still argue whether the growing interest in dark sky preservation is primarily driven by a scientific desire to improve astronomical observation, or if it reflects a deeper human yearning for a spiritual or cultural connection to the night sky that has been lost in modern society. Is it about seeing distant galaxies, or feeling more connected to our ancient roots? For you, the sensation is one of quiet yearning and renewed hope. The dark sky movement represents humanity's conscious effort to balance progress with preservation, recognizing that true light is sometimes best appreciated in the context of profound darkness. This chapter in Artificial Light's story highlights a growing awareness of the unintended consequences of our illuminating power, and a gentle push to reclaim a part of our ancient heritage that shines brightest when the world is truly dark. The stars are waiting for us to remember them. You've just witnessed the dark sky movement's efforts to reclaim natural night. Now, project your thoughts even further into the future, considering how light technology might transcend mere illumination. The future of light, beyond illumination. You contemplate speculative uses of light, from transmitting data to fostering growth, envisioning a world where light serves functions far beyond simply helping us see. It's like imagining light becoming a silent, omnipresent helper, weaving itself into the very fabric of our lives in unseen ways. Imagine a world where your internet connection isn't delivered through wires or Wi-Fi, but through the very light fixtures in your room, using a technology called Li-Fi. You might see the light from your ceiling lamp not just illuminating your book, but simultaneously streaming movies to your tablet at incredibly high speeds. Or picture vast underground farms where plants grow without soil, nourished and directed by precisely tuned spectra of LED light, maximizing yields in controlled environments. You might also envision light being used for advanced medical diagnostics, perhaps tiny light beams scanning your body for health indicators, or even for non-invasive therapies. You feel a sense of boundless innovation, a realization that light, in its fundamental nature, holds far more potential than we currently exploit. It's like discovering that a paintbrush can also play music if you only knew how to use it. One mainstream historical fact here is that the concept of using light for communication is not new. Ancient civilizations used smoke signals and signal fires, and later, the optical telegraph used mirrors. However, modern applications like fiber optics, using light to transmit data through glass strands, and now Li-Fi, using visible light wirelessly, represent a massive leap in bandwidth and capability. It's a bit like upgrading from sending messages via carrier pigeon to sending them via warp speed. A quirky tidbit? Scientists are even experimenting with tractor beams made of light, not to pull spaceships, but to precisely manipulate microscopic particles. Imagine a tiny light pushing around a tiny component in a microscopic factory. Historians still argue whether humanity's increasing ability to manipulate light for complex functions will primarily lead to unprecedented technological advancements and solutions to global challenges, or if it will create new ethical dilemmas and unintended consequences by blurring the lines between natural and artificial environments. Will light become our greatest servant, or an uncontrollable master? For you, the sensation is one of profound, accelerating change. The future of light promises to move far beyond simply illuminating our path. It envisions light as an active participant in our technological, agricultural, and medical landscapes. This chapter in Light's journey highlights humanity's continuous push to harness fundamental forces of nature in ever more sophisticated ways. transforming not just how we see, but how we live, interact, and even grow. The spectrum of possibilities is truly endless. You've just peered into the expansive future of light's capabilities, far beyond simple illumination. But as you reflect on this dazzling technological progress, you must also confront a stark reality closer to home: global access divide, light's inequality. You recognize how access to reliable and safe artificial light remains a critical global disparity, highlighting that for billions, the dream of a continuously illuminated life is still a distant, often dangerous fantasy. It's like seeing a vibrant, brightly lit city through the eyes of someone living in a perpetually dark village, where the setting sun still dictates every aspect of their existence. Imagine millions of households, even today, where dusk brings not the flip of a switch, but a profound darkness. Children struggle to study after sunset. Families are confined to limited social interaction, and economic activity grinds to a halt. You might envision a small village where a single flickering kerosene lamp is a precious commodity, its smoky flame posing health risks and providing only meager illumination. Or perhaps you see communities reliant on expensive, unreliable, and environmentally damaging fuel sources for light, trapped in a cycle of energy poverty. You feel the weight of this disparity, realizing that while some parts of the world grapple with light pollution and circadian disruption from too much light, others desperately yearn for even the most basic, safe illumination. The very concept of a 24/7 world is a privilege, not a universal reality. One mainstream historical fact here is that despite incredible advancements in lighting technology, roughly 750 million people worldwide still lack access to electricity, and billions more have only intermittent or unreliable access. This energy poverty profoundly impacts education, health, safety, and economic development, perpetuating cycles of poverty. It's a bit like boasting about your super-fast fiber optic internet when many still don't have stable electricity to charge a basic phone. A quirky tidbit? Initiatives like Litter of Light empower communities by teaching them to make simple, solar-powered bottle lights using discarded plastic bottles filled with water and bleach, providing a surprisingly effective, safe, and free light source during the day. Imagine lighting your home with a recycled soda bottle. Historians still argue whether the primary responsibility for addressing global light inequality lies with technological innovation and the development of cheaper off-grid solutions, or with larger socioeconomic and political changes that can ensure universal access to energy infrastructure. Is it a tech problem or a justice problem? For you, the sensation is one of humbling perspective. The global access divide in light underscores that progress, while remarkable, is often unevenly distributed. This chapter in Artificial Light's story serves as a powerful reminder that the dream of conquering darkness, while largely achieved for some, remains an ongoing struggle for many, urging us to consider not just the brilliance of our inventions, but also their equitable distribution. The glow of our world, for many, remains an unfulfilled promise. You've just grappled with the global disparities in light access, a stark reminder of uneven progress. Now, return your thoughts to your own being, to the very core of your biology, and feel the enduring, deep-seated power of your body's ancient response to light. Ancient rhythms persist. Biology's resilience. You understand that despite all our technological advancements, cultural shifts, and the relentless glow of modernity, your fundamental biological clock remains profoundly attuned to the natural cycles of light and darkness, a testament to millions of years of evolution. It's like discovering that no matter how many digital apps you download, your body still remembers how to read an analog clock built into your very cells. Imagine your brain, deep within its ancient structures, constantly monitoring the light signals reaching your eyes. Even with all the artificial illumination around you, your body still registers the subtle changes in light intensity and spectrum throughout a natural day. It recognizes the rising sun's blue-rich light as an energizing cue and the setting sun's warmer, redder tones as a signal to prepare for rest. You feel a gentle, almost unconscious push and pull, a daily reset button that your biology insists on pressing. When you experience jet lag or the fatigue of an all-nighter, you're not just feeling tired, you're feeling the profound protest of this ancient internal clock, desperately trying to resynchronize with a world that has suddenly gone out of phase. It's a powerful, persistent reminder that evolution has programmed you for a specific kind of day and night. One mainstream historical fact here is the remarkable consistency of the human circadian rhythm, a roughly 24-hour cycle that regulates sleep-wake patterns, hormone release, body temperature, and many other physiological processes. This internal clock is remarkably robust, demonstrating a deep evolutionary conservation across species, from tiny fruit flies to towering trees. It's why, even in a cave without external time cues, your body would still try to maintain a roughly 24-hour cycle. A quirky tidbit? Some theories suggest that certain modern sleep disorders or chronic fatigue might be partly due to a phenomenon called social jet lag, where your biological clock is constantly out of sync with your social schedule, e.g., staying up late on weekends and waking early for work, creating a perpetual internal battle. It's like your body is perpetually trying to catch a flight it's always just missed. Historians still argue whether humanity's future will see a further weakening of these ancient biological rhythms due to pervasive artificial light and altered lifestyles, or if a growing awareness of their importance will lead to a global resurgence in respecting and supporting our natural light-dark cycles. Will we truly defy nature, or will nature always win in the end? For you, the sensation is one of profound biological wisdom. The persistence of ancient rhythms is a powerful testament to sleep's fundamental importance. This chapter underscores that while human ingenuity has brought forth astonishing light, your deepest biology remains a legacy of a world governed by the sun, a quiet, resilient force that continually pulls you back towards the necessary embrace of natural darkness and the restorative power of truly aligned rest. Your body remembers the sun even when your eyes don't. You felt the resilience of your ancient biological rhythms, quietly persisting despite all the artificial light. Now, as our journey through the history of illumination draws to a close, you arrive at the ultimate, overarching truth. Light's enduring mystery, a fundamental force. You reflect on the profound and often unseen influence of light on all life, from its most basic biological processes to its deepest philosophical implications, realizing it's more than just something that helps you see. It's a primal energy, constantly shaping existence in ways you're only beginning to fully comprehend. It's like standing before a vast luminous ocean, recognizing that you've only ever dipped your toes in its shallows. Imagine light not just as rays hitting your eyes, but as packets of energy, information, and even life itself. Think back to the very first single-celled organisms using sunlight for photosynthesis, setting the stage for all complex life. Remember how light, In its absence, defined the dangers of ancient nights, and in its presence, fueled the relentless drive for human ingenuity. You see how light, in its various forms from flickering fire to targeted therapy, has been a constant companion, a silent architect of evolution, pushing life towards new adaptations and entirely new ways of being. You feel its subtle warmth on your skin, its vibrant colors painting your world, its absence inviting rest and introspection. It isn't just about seeing, it's about being seen, about growth, about connection, and about the very cycle of life and death that plays out across planets. One mainstream historical fact here is light's dual nature as both a particle, photon, and a wave, a concept central to quantum physics and our modern understanding of the universe. This fundamental property means light isn't just a medium for vision, but a carrier of energy and information in countless ways, influencing everything from atomic structures to biological processes. It's why light can give you a tan, power a solar panel, and help you sleep all at once. A quirky tidbit? Some scientific theories propose that the bioluminescence observed in deep-sea creatures, animals that produce their own light, might have evolved not just for attracting mates or prey, but also as a form of light pollution in an otherwise perpetually dark environment, creating a unique visual language where darkness is the canvas and light is the message. Imagine signaling your dinner plans with a glow. Historians still argue whether humanity's ever-increasing technological control over light will ultimately lead to a deeper appreciation and respect for its fundamental biological and ecological roles, or if it will simply foster a greater detachment from natural light cycles, with unforeseen consequences. Will we become enlightened masters of light, or merely its oblivious consumers? For you, the sensation is one of profound, continuous revelation. Light's enduring mystery underscores its unparalleled importance. This final chapter reveals that the story of artificial light is inseparable from the grand narrative of life itself, a constant interplay between our ingenuity and the fundamental forces that govern our existence. As you prepare for sleep tonight, remember that the light around you and its absence is part of a billion-year-old dance, a silent, powerful force guiding you, always. The echoes of this vast story now begin to gently fade, each illuminating flicker and profound shadow softening into the quiet canvas of your own night. Feel the lingering warmth of ancient campfires, the steady glow of distant gaslights, and the quiet hum of modern LEDs, all dissolving into the comforting embrace of impending sleep. Let the knowledge that light, in all its forms, has shaped every aspect of your being settle deeply within you. Your body, a product of eons of adaptation, knows this rhythm, this ancient ebb and flow between illumination and rest. The journey through time and light has prepared you for this moment, for this peaceful surrender to the necessary darkness. Your breath deepens, your muscles relax, and your thoughts, like the stars you've learned to appreciate anew, begin to twinkle and then fade into the quiet, boundless expanse. All is well. All is calm. A